some of the favorite tools that I'm using right now. I'm just going to start with the granddaddy of them all right now, which is ChatGPT.
Yes.
And I still think there's a big misunderstanding or lack of knowledge around what ChatGPT can be used for. And there are some amazing things that I'm using ChatGPT for, and I'm just talking about it through the marketing lens, right? So, just from a pure research standpoint, usually when I'm doing research, I have to go to Google. I've got to go down the rabbit hole of different sites. I've got to, it takes a lot of time, right? And an example I'll use with you the other day, Andrew, was I was approached by an investment bank to do some marketing to bring them more, high quality individuals that they could lend capital to.
Yep.
So I started going down the rabbit hole of, okay, when I do marketing, I tend to target competitors first. So I went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, who are the 5 closest competitors, for a bank, right? And they said, okay, well, use financial news websites and reports, consult industry reports and market research from financial institutions, review the annual reports and filings of the bank in question because they can mention their competitors.
Great info, right?
Conduct a competitive analysis using tools and software designed for market research. And I went, okay, that's a good start. I want something more specific. So I said, just give me 10 financial news websites then, because it mentioned it. And boom, Bloomberg, CNBC, Reuters, Wall Street, Financial Times, MarketWatch, Yahoo Finance, Barron's, Investing.com, Forbes. Great. Boom, block, set aside for things that I could target. Then I said, great, now give me 10 financial subject matter experts. They said, no problem. Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, Janet Yellen, Mohammed El-Arian, Sue Zorman, Robert Schiller, Howard Marks, Mark Cuban, Peter Lynch, Nassim Taleb. Awesome. Boom. Subject matter experts locked in. Now list me the top lending banks, not banks, but lenders, because they're lenders. Oh, no problem. Everybody from JP Morgan Chase to Capital One. Fantastic.
So it's drilling down for you.
It's drilling down. And if you ask it to drill down more and more specific, it will. I said, great, give me the top financial news TV shows in America.
Yep.
No problem. Mad Money, Fast Money, Squawk Box, Bloomberg, Closing Bell, Power Lunch, Wall Street Halftime Report, Sue Zorman. Awesome. Boom. Another section, right? Great. You know what? Give me the top 10 apps that people use for finance. Bang. Mint, Robinhood, Acorns, Personal Capital, Cash App, Venmo, Betterment, Stash, Credit Karma, Chime.
Damn. I'm thinking, man, it would have been nice to have this in college. How do these college kids must be able to whiz through research?
There's actually AI tools now reading submissions in college to see if it was developed by AI. There's AI to combat AI.
So they can see if you're cheating and just basically, again, having the whole thing think for you, right?
Yeah, well, you can just get a whole thing. Like here's the craziness of ChatGPT. So the other day, a friend of mine has started this company where they're doing personal branding for people.
Yep.
So the first thing he does is he does a 90-minute interview with the new client. Tell me all about you, what moves you, what you're driven by, what's your origin story, all these million questions. And he has an AI tool called Fathom, record everything and turn it into a transcription from that call. He then takes that transcription, uploads it into ChatGPT, says, turn this into more real language, because there's a lot of starts and stops and ums and ahs and blah, blah, blah. So all of a sudden it smooths out this recording. He said, now ChatGPT, you are a branding expert. You are a branding agency. Please take this information and break it down into a traditional brand guide for this client. Now all of a sudden it goes, here's their mission, here's their purpose, here's their preferential color schemes, here, This is the kind of stuff that would have taken hours and hours and hours. And of course, at the end, you take your experience and your wisdom, you add a little, you tweak a little, but we're talking about stuff being done in minutes. You and I both know, is it easier, Andrew, to write copy on a sales page or tweak copy that somebody else has written on a sales page?
Anybody would rather not start with a blank white slate, right? So this is a good starter for a lot of things,
oh my God, it's an amazing starter for so many different things. And so ChatGPT, it's all about the prompts that you give. And a lot of them are.
So I guess you have to be pretty intelligent on your prompts to get an intelligent reply and an intelligent path, right?
And you have to play with it a little bit to
I've not used it for the research element you're talking about right now, which is intriguing to me. I always think about it as like a writing tool, right?
Right.
But the research tool angle is interesting.
Because it's grabbing everything from the internet.
It's a quick compilation is what it is.
I mean, it's exactly what it is.
It's basically like a traditional Google search on steroids is what it is.
And I was testing its ability to write headlines the other day for
How'd that go?
Good, but you have to do a little bit of critical thinking in how you give the prompt. Mm-hmm. So, for example, I'm trying to think of one that comes off the top of my head. I can't right now, but I said, you're a Facebook ad agency and you need to make ads for this type of client who does this. Right? Give me 10 compelling headlines for the beginning of that ad, and it spit them out. And I went, blah, don't really love them. I said,
you're going to be more particular than most people being in the space as long as you are.
So I said, take these ads and transition them from their current format into fear-based headlines.
So make them a little more dramatic, like National Enquirer or something, right?
So all of a sudden it gave me fear-based derivatives of those headlines, and they were exponentially better.
Wow.
So it's about understanding the prompts and then starting to make a file of these prompts of how you ask it for what it wants. If you want it to be funny, you have to ask it to be funny. If you want it to be analytical, you have to be analytical. If you want it written from a fear-based standpoint, you have to be very specific about what you ask, but the better your prompts, the better your outputs.
Yep.
And so ChatGPT, I don't even believe I've got halfway down the rabbit hole with ChatGPT yet, but I'm starting to really understand how much time it can save and really how much data it can collect for you and really reduce your workload in a lot of things that require the written word.
Yep.
Now, OpenAI is a $1 billion parent company, and it's releasing new products every day. So one of the things that I added to my ChatGPT is their image generator, which can go in the same interface. Yep. It was developed by ChatGPT, right? So if you ask it something like, design a logo for a new tech startup, it's literally one of their prompts on the page as an example of what you can ask it to do, right? It will literally design you 25 logos.
Really?
If you want to, one of the examples that it gives is, create me a background of somebody walking through space wearing a red helmet. Boom, it's done. Create an image of a futuristic city.
But Aaron, are they high resolution images?
Yes. They're very
strong.
So
now we're talking about eliminating graphic designers too.
Absolutely. Now, is it perfect? Again, it's kind of one of those things where you have to figure out your prompts, because the more specific your prompts, the better off your deliverable is. Now, in this particular case, when I was trying to get it to write text, because we like to do images with text written on them, it really struggled with writing text on its own image. I don't know why it doesn't like to do that, but it struggles a little bit. But if we're just creating images, unique, royalty-free, one-off, you own it images, it is amazing what it can punch out